changes, it's always very difficult to spot the positions. Well, let things settle down a bit as Damon Hill and ALAIN Prost, first and second, coming up to complete the 27th lap, close on Andretti. Now, this is undeniably ALAIN Prost's opportunity to get through. Andretti's got a Lotus ahead of him, that must be Zanardi. Into the pits, we're into the pits with Damon Hill. Now, watch this tyre stop. It's happening right underneath me. Not brilliant, and Andretti goes out. 7.47 seconds is good by yours and my standards, but not all that brilliant by Formula One standards. I remember Ayrton Senna came in recently and did a stop, all four tyres and wheels in under 5 seconds. So, Alain Prost now leads the French Grand Prix, and whether or not he retains that lead will depend on how slick the Williams team are when he comes in to change his tyres and wheels. If they take longer than 7.47 seconds, he'll lose the lead. If they don't, he may well retain it. I say may well because Damon Hill won't be wasting time now. He's on new tyres. He's got better grip than he had before. That's why he came in, to get better grip. Now, Prost, this is the end of the lap. Alain Prost should come in now, because he should come in immediately after his teammate. And you see a problem there. And ahead is Andretti's McLaren Ford. And Prost, I believe we're with Prost now. Can't be absolutely sure until I see his helmet. Yes, indeed, that was Alain Prost, and he is now on his 29th lap, and he is leading still.
Prost has obviously got a clean,
but he has to slow down, stop, and he's coming in now. Alain Prost coming in on lap 29. Remember, Damon Hill's time, just over 7 seconds, and the Williams team can afford to be very relaxed about everything, and out he goes, marginally quicker than Damon Hill, so the status quo could well be as it was before. Well, we'll know shortly, but Alain Prost rejoins the Magny-Cours circuit at Nevers in today's very hot conditions to run through the rest of the race on the set of tyres that he has just had fitted, and he is on lap 30. And he's coming down to catch, and look how close it is. The two Williams absolutely together, and Damon Hill is in second place behind Prost, and he knows that if he can't get Prost now, he probably won't, because Prost is on new tyres and Damon Hill is on tyres that are a couple of laps old. They'll be gripping that much better, they'll be that much hotter than the tyres of the French world champion. Wonderful scrap for the lead of the French Grand Prix, and just under half distance with Alain Prost leading. Damon Hill second, Martin Brundle behind them in third position. Fourth is Senna, fifth is Schumacher, but this is the excitement. Watch it. And they're coming up to lap, midfield men. Now that's Andretti ahead again, I do believe. Andretti is in 10th position. Now, if he gets in the way there is Gerhard Berger, and he is going to be caught and passed by the two Williams very quickly indeed. They're gripping better, holding the track better, going faster. I was saying earlier on, but didn't finish, that the Ferrari driver, especially Berger, have not come to grips with the revised John Barnard designed active suspension system on the Ferrari. That is Luca Badoer in the Lola, and he's obviously got a major handling well and truly joined there ahead of and staying ahead of the lapped Michael Andretti, and Schumacher is going for it.
Now here's a battle that we've been waiting for all season. The McLaren there, followed by the Benetton, both powered by the Ford engine. The big difference is the amount of downforce. Look at that bigger rear wing. If we get a chance to see again, the McLaren is carrying more rear wing. It looks bigger. The Benetton's is smaller, and that gives us the one differential. The fact that the Benetton is going to be a little quicker in the straight line, and that's going to make it absolutely imperative that Senna is really quick through that fast Estoril right-hander. They're not near it yet as they come down towards the chicane now, and it's going to... The Chateau d'Eau corner there, third gear around there, 70 miles an hour, descending down, up to 145 miles an hour, back down to third gear, through the chicane, 80 miles an hour over the curbs. You need to use a little bit of curb here at Magny-Cours to be quick. Down through Lycée, the slow corner, second gear, punching out, the traction control doing all the work. Now here's where Senna has really got to try and use that downforce to keep ahead of Schumacher, to try and pull out a gap, particularly around this next right-hander, this high G Estoril right-hander, because it's here that Schumacher is going to be looking to close the gap with his less downforce all the way down to Adelaide and hopefully get up the inside from his point of view.
This is Senna's 150th Grand Prix. We're driving with him now, looking back. You can just see Schumacher's Benetton under his rear wing, or you could. He's driven in 5 times as many Grand Prix as Schumacher. This is his 30th event, and the German is hanging on magnificently. As Jonathan has told you, there's a needle match between McLaren and Benetton over the Ford engines. They're very evenly matched in terms of systems. And I was very interested to see yesterday that Michael Schumacher has got on his steering wheel a special button which enables him to trim the ride height of his car. When he needs more downforce, he can get it. When he needs less downforce, he can similarly get it by pressing that button. And Senna will undoubtedly have the same sort of facility. They're coming down to the Lycée now to complete another lap. This will be the end of their 61st lap. Prost and Hill have already gone through. Still only 7/10 of a second between them. Looking forwards and backwards on Senna's car now, and that's no mean achievement. Forwards at the top, and where is Schumacher? Look at the bottom half of your picture, and you can see him between the 2 elements of Ayrton Senna's rear wing. And they're now doing 190 miles an hour as they go round Golf Corner. Michael Andretti is keeping them both in sight. He's in 8th place, a lap behind them. But Schumacher's going to have all his time cut out to get past Ayrton Senna. His engine may have marginally more horsepower, although there's a lot of argument about that, because the cars use different makes of fuel. They have different engine systems. One has got the tag system, and that is the Ayrton Senna McLaren, and we're back again with the leaders, with Alain Prost on his 62nd lap now, getting towards the closing stages of the French Grand Prix of 1993. And off goes the Benetton now. Is it Patrese, or it's Patrese? Riccardo Patrese has got it all wrong. He's wiped off the front wing of the Benetton, so that's another certain retirement. He was trying to get inside Christian Fittipaldi's Minardi Ford. He runs wide and clobbers the back of the car, does he? Well, he hasn't done it yet. Oh my goodness! He mounts the Minardi, and well, Jonathan, you know about this. What on earth happened? First and second in Brazil and Donington and San Marino and Spain. It looks as I'm sorry, I'm looking at the grids. But the Schumacher battle continues. Jonathan.
Yes, Schumacher is ahead. Schumacher is ahead now. That's Schumacher locking wheel ahead of Senna. We don't know where that happened. We didn't see it. But that's bad news for Ayrton, because he's in and he looks like he's got a problem, because this looks like Ayrton has a problem, because Andretti's going by, and yes, that looks like to be a difficult time now for Senna.
Well, here we are. You can see, we're with Senna now, and you can see, and my apologies for that, you can see Andretti closing up, and it looks as though poor Ayrton Senna is going to retire yet again. You can see Schumacher there locking up as he comes up behind Eric Comas, having already passed Ayrton Senna, so we don't know where that happened. But Senna in the McLaren has already failed to finish this year at San Marino and in Canada. He is in 2nd position in the World Championship, and still will be for that matter, because even if Damon Hill finishes where he is now, he will still be well adrift of Ayrton Senna. But Senna desperately needs case. It would be Martin's 4th points finish in 8 races for the French team in 1993, and Alain Prost is now on his last lap of the French Grand Prix. He has driven a superb race.
Absolutely, he's done all that he possibly could here. He's had a difficult practice by his standards. He was running second, of course, to Hill in the early stages, got ahead at the pit stop effectively, and has really driven a masterful race, every bit the sort of race we'd expect from Prost there. But Damon has been quite extraordinary. He's hung on there, whatever. He led the first half. He's not made one mistake. There was that question mark about that vapour. We don't know what it was, if it ever was a problem indeed. Behind that, Schumacher has got ahead without the sort of battle we would have loved to have seen, sadly, of the Senna-Schumacher battle. Senna and McLaren will be frustrated not to have won, if you like, the Ford category. And I'm sure Brundle, too, will be very frustrated at not having, despite that tremendous third place on the grid, not having been able to capitalise on that in the race.
Well, you see the closing stages of the race, and sadly it looks as though Rubens Barrichello for Jordan Hart, having driven a superb race, is not going to get that point for sixth place, because he's been passed by Michael Andretti as they went into the last lap. The leaders now are almost within sight of the checkered flag, and Alain Prost and Damon Hill are going to finish together. They do so. Prost wins in France for the sixth time, and he wins by less than a second from an equally magnificent Damon Hill. They've driven a superb race. Now we just wait for the third place man, who will of course be Michael Schumacher, to come through. He's done so. Michael Schumacher has finished third for Benetton. Here is Ayrton Senna, and he has got behind him his teammate Michael Andretti. That is Martin Brundle finishing in fifth place. Andretti finishes a lapped sixth, and Rubens Barrichello finishes seventh as an elite